Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Crosstalk. Today we are tackling the topic of dating apps. In a digital age where technology shapes how we connect, these platforms have transferred the landscape of romance. From swiping to messaging, they offer a convenient way to navigate modern dating. But with ease comes questions about their impact on relationships and society. Joining us today is a registered psychotherapist who is a lovely person to talk to. And with her, I will be exploring the world of dating apps, discussing their pros, cons, and everything in between. Whether you are a seasoned user or just curious, this episode promises insight and perspectives. So let's dive into the intriguing world of dating apps on Crosstalk. I would like to welcome my guest here. Hello, Elsa. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, very good, Ekta. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much for agreeing to come and talk on this topic. I'm sure you must be having a lot of such cases related to these kind of issues.
Yes, for sure. I see many cases, many couples, even after they become having or developing their relationship, are coming for couple therapy because unfortunately they have a lot of issues.
Okay, let's just start with what are basically the biggest side effects of being on dating apps for long.
Yeah, we need to consider that from the psychological area, we can find some difficulties. For example, the people can develop depression because you are meeting people so often that you come just bottom into frequent rejection. So that can affect your self esteem and your mood. Also, they can develop anxiety. Some people can develop anxiety putting together a profile in an app. So they start being exposed, trying to presenting themselves as best as they can. No? Another effect can be the addiction. Many people become addicted to the dating app because they start checking their phone often. Also, they can becoming more impatient because they have this sense of immediate gratification. So they just want to go on a dating app and meeting somebody. Something additional can be the difficulties forming in the in the in-person relationships because it's not the same dating online to dating in person. So when they start having this connection in person, there are some problems for sure between the couple, no?
Can you discuss the potential negative consequences of constantly comparing oneself to others on dating apps?
Yeah, the first one of those is about the self esteem. Uh, the people have the tendency to comparing themselves with others. So we need to realize that comparing with others, sorry, create for us difficulties because it's our sensation of self worth that is compromised, but also the tendency to create a concept, a real concept about who you are, or who you are worth it for. So when you are comparing with others in the dating apps, it's like you start checking how is your body in comparison with the other people body that is in the that are sorry in the app. So all that can create self concept issues.
And how would you come to know that you are addicted to this? Like, what are common signs of addiction or dependency on dating apps? And how can, one address or recognize it?
Yeah, one of the first signs of addictions to dating apps can be the spending excessive amount of time on the dating app, often at the expense of other activities and even relationships. Feeling anxious or upset when you are unable to access to the dating app, neglecting important responsibilities to use the dating apps like work, school, or family events, continuously sweeping through profiles even when you are not interested in anyone, but it's like something that is part of your daily activity, So,
Mhm.
in terms of strategies for overcoming the dating apps addiction, I suggest first limiting yourself in terms of the time that you will be exposing to the dating apps.
Mhm.
Maybe set a daily or weekly time limit for using those. Consider deleting or disabling notifications for these apps during times when you need to be focused on other activities or when you are with other people around you, maybe trying to feed those relationships. Another strategy can be engaging in alternative activities, like, I don't know, discover alternative activities in terms of socializing or sharing with the family. But since that can make you feel happy or certain satisfaction with your real world, another strategy could be seek support, maybe talk with friends, with family, or even with a mental health professional if that is the case, because maybe the issues start being so big. So having support is never too
Yeah.
much, no?
Yeah, I've heard people being on these sites for years. I mean, for some reason, I find it really strange. Like, how can you be on such dating sites for years? Have you not met anybody, or have you not found your right person? Like, or it's just that you're used to just spending times, and it's. I think it's unfair to other genuine people also who are on dating sites for finding their true love or true partner.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But something that we need to realize that is a big effect of the dating apps is how that can hurt the self-esteem. See, the American Psychological Association create this study where they were comparing people that is in some dating apps, and the people that maybe are dating, but they are not in dating apps. And they discover that those that are more exposed to the dating apps are more insecure, but have the tendency to perceive themselves like with a low self-worth.
Wow.
So it's something that we need to realize because it's a reality that we have out there.
Mm. So, uh, can you share insights of how prolonged use of these dating sites can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, despite the apparent being, for the connectivity they offer? Like, you are on dating sites for long, people meet you, but you go out and meet people, but even then, people are going through loneliness, depression, isolation. So, can you share a little bit on this?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We need to check what are those scenes that the dating apps are creating in the people in terms of isolation. The dating apps can create this sensation of being alone, but also that can diminish the empathy and the emotional connection with others. Is that the person start becoming so disconnected from others. Another scene can be that the person can become so superficial over the genuine emotional connection with others. It's like every time the person is trying to just connect for temporal relationships that in his or her mind is like that will not go anywhere. So it's like the person start being so aware about this is just temporal, that is not coming in a true relationship. So it's like the person just lost the expectation about that.
I also feel when people start getting rejected or people start ghosting on these sites, I think it definitely affects the mindset or the confidence in the other person. What is your opinion on this?
Yeah, the lack of confidence is an interest point in this situation because the people start becoming a little on like having trust issues with respect of this is because the dating apps create a severe lack of trust in others by the expectation of somebody that can be the answer for your expectations instead of the romantic area,
Mhm.
but also that can create abandonment issues because the person is not connected with a long-term relationship. So because it's something temporal, it's something so fast, so the person start like losing that tendency to create a good connection with others.
Mm.
Additionally, that can contribute to not feeling like you can trust anybody and having lonely spaces to be in because it's like you have this complete lack of closure in the dating apps because sometimes the people are not talking with you. It's like you cannot have this real connection to know about what the other is doing or what the other is expecting about you because in the real life you can do it. Dating in the traditional way you can do it, but
I
here,
was just thinking this only. It definitely affects the emotional resilience and the capacity of genuine intimacy.
yeah, and the genuine intimacy is important because if you compare the traditional way,
Yes.
the genuine intimacy is about how you can read the other person body language
Mhm.
or the face language.
Mhm.
But in the dating process, the dating app process is like you sometimes you don't have that.
Yes.
It's like you are lacking those meaningful elements that are involved in the traditional dating.
Yes. Yeah, whichever world we live, even if we live in a modern world or a traditional world, we still need that. We human beings, we really need all that, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I used to joke a little bit with my family about that, and I said we should be creating this psychological project about creating the right space for the people to start dating. And that's why in the couple therapy, you can see many problems between the couples in the traditional way. So, can you imagine with people that are dating through these apps? It's like the pros and cons, no? But the
Mm.
majority of the situations that are involved in the dynamic of the relationship so are bigger, and we need to be dealing with that if we want
Yes.
to make them work perfect.
So one last question. How can individual establish healthy boundaries and practices to mitigate the negative impact of prolonged use of these dating sites on their overall well-being and mental health and everything?
Yeah, I seen that. I recommend for the people to start combining the two options. I know the dating apps are useful in many moments, but the traditional way is over there because of reason. So we need to use both of them because nothing can replace the direct interaction with the human being that can be your partner. So in my mind, it's like let's try the traditional way, but if you have to use the dating apps, that this situation trying to become the more real possible for you and for the person that you will start dating for sure.
Thank you so much. So I'm glad you shared such important points about being on dating sites for so long. Increased anxiety, dependency. It's also time consuming. Emotionally, you get exhausted, and then shallow interactions, and then you get addiction. You get addicted to these sites.
Yeah,
So I'm glad
and
you shared such important negative points. So do we have
yeah,
something like positive also about being on? dating sites?
Uh, I think there are some positive points. While we are completely aware about um, who you are and how is your self-esteem, because if we are in control of our emotions, and we are aware that we have a big value, we can create this connection with others indistinctly of dating apps or the traditional way. In my mind, the important thing is about the people, recognizing that they have a big value and they are a complete human being. It's like you don't need nobody to compliment you. It's like you can be outside sharing of yourself, and it's the best orientation for you to get a partner, but not trying to get somebody that come to your life just to fix everything, or try to make you somebody that you are not. So basically for me is like having these spaces can allow us to experience other kind of things without forgetting that we itself are valued.
Nah, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was really awesome talking to you, and I'm glad I got an opportunity to speak to you about this such important topic. Anything else that you would like to advise to the youth in coming time or today's time for being on dating apps? Any advice to them?
Um, the only thing that I can advise when we are talking about this is take care of yourself. Be clear with your limits in terms of what do you want, and what you don't want. Also, try to control your emotions to avoid developing anxiety or even depression. Also, maybe don't take that serious the rejection. Nobody can reject you if they don't know you in reality, and they don't know about what you are capable to. And the last thing maybe is creating this tendency to dating apps sometimes is taking from us the possibility to know in the real world this person. So try to connect with other people around you, and if that is the last option for you, try to go being flexible.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Go flexible, let it go, live in today's world, try to connect to people around you. And if you don't get successful, swipe right again.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much. Had a wonderful discussion with you. You have an awesome day. God bless you and take care.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.